the opponent won't be able to enter into the legs. That's not true though. Sure, I can't get direct contact right away, but when she's doing this and posting my shoulders, how is she going to pass me from here? She can't outflank me. She can't split my legs. If she goes to step inside, she has to stagger her stance first. Okay, so all this does is it gives me the ability to start grip fighting and patting hands down and then going in and harassing my partner's feet. Okay, with how she wazes. All right, so your partner can stand square, but it's never the best option long term. Okay. This is the same reason, like I said, you don't see wrestlers standing square. They create centerline exposure so you can shoot on them. You don't see strikers standing square because they create centerline exposure and you can hit them in the face. Okay, the whole thing is to hide the centerline, hide the jaw, so that now when I want to go double quiche, I can't. Yes, I can make contact, but she should have options to pommel her legs back inside and start passing from here. This is basically just a negative game that people use to stall. They post their shoulders, I go to reach for the legs, I can't get there, and then we run into situations like so. But if you know how to harass the feet properly, this is terrible for the top partner to do. So don't pass like this. Okay. Now, if she's square, I can stay square. But if she staggers her stance and she goes right lead forward, for example, now I have to stagger my stance because now she can move quickly to a flank position, take a cross step, and this is no good for me. So I can't have a situation where I'm here and she's right in front of me, and now she just quickly shoots past my legs and she's gone. So when she goes right lead forward, I have to go right lead forward as well. So she's right leg forward, my right hip is down, and my right leg monitors her lead leg. So now when she goes to step, I can always block her and come forward and make contact. So she goes to step. Now I have contact with my partner where we can go in and start to go into our follow-up attacks. In addition, when she goes staggered and I go staggered, it only allows her to pass in one direction. Okay, so when she goes to outflank me in this direction, I know this is the only way that she can go. Because my partner steps out in this direction, now she exposes a center line where we can go and start to attack with off balances. So if she goes staggered like so, and I stay square, she can outflank me in this direction, like so. Or she can come in and start stepping out in this direction where she steps across, like so, and then this leg follows, and now she starts to move to a flank position like so. And now there's no center line exposure. If I try to go in double quiche, I can't. So she can go 1, 2, and now she can start outflanking me. She can drop down. She can go to my knee and my hip, and she can start to push my legs away, and my knees point away, and turns into a disaster. Okay? So when she starts to move staggered, like so, she goes right lead forward, I go right lead forward. So now I cut her off. She can only go in one direction. If she goes in this direction, she exposes her center line. If she tries to go in this direction, now I can always follow her. Okay? So if she goes staggered, I have to go staggered. So my lead leg monitors her lead leg. If she switches to a left lead forward, I have to switch to a left lead forward. For now, from here we go in, and our lead leg monitors our partner's lead leg. If she goes left lead forward, and I stay right lead forward, now there's no reason why she can't just outflank me with the cross step, and she beats me here. Okay? You have to understand, in order to not just get your guard pass right away, you have to recognize what stances your partner's playing. Is she square? I can play square. Okay, this is. I can also play staggered. There's no reason why I can't play staggered as well. I can play square because I know that my partner can't move quickly in the direction she needs to. She can only go side to side along that plane, like along that axis out there. She can't step diagonally without staggering her stance. The second she goes staggered, I have to realize this, and I stagger as well. So now, when she goes to outflank me, I can easily follow my partner, and I know which side she has to pass to. If she switches stances, this is no good, because now she can outflank me here easily, and I get beat. So she switches from right to left lead forward, right to left. I have to switch from right hip to left hip, and we can go in and start playing with our partner here. Okay, and now if she switches again, as she goes to outflank me, I have to switch, and I move from one hip to the other, and we can adjust accordingly. Okay, this is like an hour-long portion in the seated versus standing. I'm not going to go into the full explanation, but this is super important for not having someone just run past your legs. Okay, if you're if you're seated and you have someone standing in front of you, and we're here, you have to recognize if your partner changes stances. If I go here and she goes right lead forward and I go to the wrong side, now, as far as retention goes, she outflanks me, and now if I fall to my back, she takes a big cross step. I fall here, and now you get your guard past, and you're like, okay, I tried to play a seated guard. You said it was the best for retention, but people are just shooting past my leg. This is not okay. Okay, so understand that when your partner adjusts his stances, we also have to look at that and adjust accordingly. If your partner's square, you can play staggered or square on either side. Staggered on either side or square. If your partner's right lead forward, you have to go right lead forward. And if your partner's left lead forward, you have to switch left lead forward. So that you force your partner to pass to one side, and you can adjust accordingly. And you can start to go in, create kazushi, make contact, and then go into your attacks. So you're not just retaining, you're also going to attacks as well. All right, so just so you need to understand that the stances matter, the distance also matters. Okay, again, what we can't have is our partner just shooting past our legs, passing our guard, and we lose the battle right from the beginning. All right, and like I said, I talked about this entire, what I'm talking about right now, way more in depth in the seated guard. So I'm kind of just brushing over it now because I know many of you who have retention have seated guard, but some of you won't. So I'm talking about it a little bit here, but if I went into as much depth with this stuff as I did in seated guard, we'd have 3 hours right here, and then it would be a 30-hour long instructional. But this stuff is all in the seated guard, and talk about it in depth, right? But it's important for attention purposes as well. So if I have a partner standing over me, I have to understand that there are three distances my partner can work at, okay? She can work in a situation where she's so far away from me, where it takes her multiple steps to come towards me, and I have time to react to what her movements are going to be. You have to remember your partner's standing and you're grounded. Standing and you're grounded. So she can move much more quickly than I can. So if she's far enough away, where now as she goes to move towards me, I can adjust and I can come in and I can start making contact with my partner. Okay, so she's so far away where it takes her multiple steps to come in, and as she goes to come towards me, I can react accordingly and hit my follow-up moves. The second is where she's so close to me where I can immediately come in and make contact and start to limit movement. Okay, where now, even though she's standing, she's not faster than me because I have connection to her, and now we can start to go into a follow-up attacks from here. And third is in this kind of gray area. This is the situation where we don't want to be, where my partner's close enough to me to touch me, but she's far enough away where it's hard for me to really get grips on her. Okay, so we're in a situation where I can't really get to a strong connection. I can maybe grab the hands, maybe she's fighting, she pulls the hands away, maybe I gotta reach for the legs and they're just not there. Maybe I'm overextending and she jumps on a front headlock. This is no good. Okay, so she's in a kind of gray area where it's hard for me to make contact with her, but just at the drop of a dime, she can just push my shoulders and quickly outflank me and start to give me issues from here. Okay, this is no good. So I always want to be in one of the first two situations, where she's so far away from me, where now she has to take multiple steps towards me and I can react accordingly, or she's close enough to me where now I can make contact and go into my follow-up attacks. Okay, and I can manage this distance with my movement. If I'm square, I can't move forwards and backwards quickly. But if I'm here, I can move forwards and backwards. So now my partner wants to be in this gray area, right? So she plays here. I can't really reach her, but she can shoot past my legs. I can move towards her. I can make contact. I can move away from her. And now as she goes to move towards me, I can move back in towards her. So I can dominate the distance between us with a simple staggered stance, where I can move forwards and backwards, and I can move side to side. Okay? So I always want to be in a situation where she's so far away, where now I can read what she's going to do, and as she goes to move towards me, come in here. Now, I'm close enough where I can make contact and go to follow-up attacks. She always wants to be in a situation where she's in this gray area where I can't really touch her, but at any point, it's hard for me to react because she's so close where she can just shoot past my legs and start giving me problems. Okay? And I manage this by either moving towards my partner to make contact, or away from my partner, so that as she goes to follow me, I can meet here in the middle and now go into my follow-up attacks and connections. Okay? You have to understand, again, this is for just retention purposes. You can't just let your partner be in a situation where she's beating you on stances. You have no idea what stances are. You can't read the stances. And your partner's moving quickly from side to side, forwards and backwards, and she just shoots past your legs. Okay, what you can't have is a situation where you're square on bottom and your partner's here, they're doing behind stuff and they're moving. You got to make grips on them. They're stripping grips. You got to grab the legs. They can't grip